Hello and welcome to Brand Awareness episode 4. I hope everyone's doing well. I was a little bit out of breath because I was just assembled this little set. I hope this works. I didn't check the camera angle. I hope everything's straight. If you're just listening to this, I'm sitting in my closet. My closet is a whole room, which is a little bit embarrassing. I feel like if you see my closet out of context, not that it's any better in context, but out of context, it's very like this lady is cuckoo. I have behind me my rails of clothes. One side is black and one side is white. And I wanted to talk about shopping in Tokyo today and everything that I've bought. It's not that much actually, at least for my standards. I just got a voice note from my assistant with a little bit of constructive criticism about the last episode. I'm only sending them out to, I think there's 4 people who've listened to the episodes before it's launching. I always feel like, what's the saying, too many cooks ruin the soup or something like that. I'm very sure of myself and of what I want to say, so I don't really like feedback, which is very ironic because my work as a consultant is basically giving feedback or worse, giving criticism. I'll get to this in another episode. I feel like this will turn into a joke. I will make another episode just about this niche topic, but my work as a consultant, basically I consult brands and single individuals, and every job is a little different, and I mostly sign NDAs, but I evaluate what your image is, what your brand is, and if I think it's good. For myself, maybe it's very toxic to admit, but I don't love criticism. I mean, who does? But just some people have had enough, have done enough self-work where it doesn't affect them or where they can take it as it is and turn it into something good. And I am not so great about this, which sometimes is also, makes it even worse. I know that part of my brand is being unapologetically me. So that is making this part of my character, I feel like, even worse in a way that I know the way I do things, it works in the end. Anyways, she was telling me mostly good things about the episode, but she was like, it would be nice if at the start of the episode you would tell people what you're talking about. And I think that makes total sense, except for, here's where I can't take the criticism. I don't know what I'm talking about yet, because sometimes if you watch the videos and I have a little notebook in front of me, I'm not really reading those. So I don't really know what I'm going to talk about in each episode. I'm really sidetracking now. When I'm writing for HSC, I'm doing interviews. Brenda's Business is my column. And by now I go into these interviews with sometimes these super famous or very important people with no plan whatsoever. I have no questions mapped out, because I feel like if I have questions on a piece of paper, I just keep looking down, and then while the person's talking, I'm like, oh, you're going off script. This is not how this conversation is supposed to go. And I think it's not very helpful for an organic dialogue. So I have no plan for this episode, except for that I want to talk about shopping and Tokyo a little bit. So yeah, I hope this is like a box of candy and you never know what you're getting. And I hope it's not the opposite, where you're like, this is stressing me out. I don't know what she's going to talk about. It's Helen here. I'm pointing at my head. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, so there is that. Maybe I'll start with, okay, one thing I'm obsessed with is shopping rules. I mean, I'm already quite crazy with the black and white. That's a filter for me, right? I think I can go into this in depth, but I think as consumers, we have way too much choice, right? We're bombarded in an oversaturated market with anything you could ever think of, especially when it comes to clothes. And in my probably pretty unique position, but I think there's a bunch of other people in my position where I have expendable income, I have budget for clothes, I have all the choice in the world. In my job, adding to the fire, I also get things gifted or offered to me, or even getting paid to promote things. So basically, I have no filter. So this black and white, I showed the opposite. This black and white is to me a filter of, I go into a store and I only have 2 colors to choose from. I know that's debatable whether or not black and white are colors. I don't know, who cares? Anyways, I have a lot of shopping rules, and one of them, maybe this is quite controversial, is this is just for me. Please don't take anything personal. And if you take anything personal, maybe you should reflect, why is this offending you? Anyways, one of my shopping rules for myself is I actually don't know who came up with this. Maybe I should have Googled. Anyways, you can Google that. If you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it. Meaning, if losing something ruins my life, I cannot afford this. Whether that's a crazy secondhand Chanel bag. Oh my God, this fear that my camera isn't on just struck me and I really have to check. This is freaking me out. Okay, it's on. Wow, we're already at 6 minutes. If you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it. What does that mean for me personally? I have to have double the budget for something in case I lose something. I'm not the person who loses things ever. I'm not touching wood. I'm about to tell you a story about how I lost things. But anyways, back in the day when I used to overspend quite a bit, losing things would have really ruined my life, and things were so precious to me. And by now I'm more in I don't care. I take care of my things, but not in the way that, I don't know, they are more important to me than they should be. Everything here is, of course, it's insured, everything's that's behind me, but I don't really care in the end. I can get things back. And I know that this money is energy and money is flowing. I know this is a super privileged point of view to have, but for me, I've kind of deluded myself into this where things are not as precious and these are just materialistic things. Anyways, if I can't afford it twice, I can't afford it. Meaning, I'm going to go through things that I bought in Tokyo, and I lost my favorite thing, and I kind of know how. So I am a huge Elsa Peretti fan. She was a jewelry designer, and she had a line for Tiffany & Co. And there are these beautiful, she had lots of different designs there, but my favorite one is the bean design. I don't even know if it's officially called the bean. And in a very pretty vintage store. Also, if I don't know any of the names of the vintage stores anymore, but they are in my brandcast on Instagram. You really have to scroll back. I think people by now want everything. I'm just sidetracking so bad. I think people by now, when it comes to shopping, especially Gen Z, they want everything hand-fed. Send me the list of everything that you went to. But shopping is about digging. And if you don't dig, I feel like you don't appreciate it as much. So you can scroll in my broadcast. Anyways, I bought this beautiful, beautiful choker, very thin. It's on, if you scroll on my Instagram, it's on my feed. I'm holding it with an open hand, in my open paw. Can you say paw to a human hand? Palm? Oh God, I don't know. English is not my first language. Anyways, I bought this beautiful choker necklace from Elsa Peretti for Tiffany & Co. And then 4 days later in another vintage store, I found the matching bean ring. And the necklace was actually super expensive. Expensive for me, it was 600 euros. And the ring was, I don't know, maybe 200, 300. And I put them in the same dust bag. And I didn't put them in my suitcase when I was traveling, but in my handbag. And I travel with a gigantic open bag. Doesn't have a zipper or anything. I travel with this old Celine by Phoebe Philo gigantic leather tote, and nothing's ever fallen out of it. And somehow I lost the dust bag. I lost where it was on, and I thought maybe I can contact the airline, but they didn't see anything. So I don't know where it fell out, and that it hasn't happened to me in a while. I don't know if you guys are superstitious like this, but it hasn't happened to me in a while where I lose things. So I'm already thinking is this representative of my brain? Am I overwhelmed? And I might not, I don't know what just happened. Am I not taking care of my things? Am I not organized enough? Is my mind somewhere else? So I've spiraled a little bit about losing this necklace situation. But yeah, I do think to myself, if you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it. So I'm trying to not be angry. I was a little bit upset, and I looked everywhere for it for an hour, and then I just gave up because I kind of also know, I don't know if you're the same, but I kind of know where my things are. I know where I put them. I'm not my mind is not so scattered all over the place. So it's gone, which is really upsetting. But yeah, in my money is a flowing situation mindset, I think this will come back to me. Or maybe it had like, you're gonna think I'm like cuckoo, but maybe it had like bad energy and it wasn't supposed to stay in my, I don't know. I have this thing where I think every item has a story, and sometimes it's like not a good story. For example, one time I really wanted this Tiffany necklace and an ex-boyfriend bought it for me, and in the end like things ended kind of badly. And instead of just, I feel like every person's so different with this. Instead of just keeping the necklace and like being happy that I have this, I sold the necklace for the exact same money that he probably paid. And then I bought the exact same because I thought like, oh, his energy is like attached to this. I don't like to have this in my house. Maybe that's crazy. Anyways, my favorite thing, I lost it. In general, the yen, Japanese currency, is kind of weak right now, so shopping is super good there. I think I mentioned in the third episode that I try to come to places with a full suitcase, not with the mindset of like I'm buying everything here, because I don't think it's I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I try to come with full outfits, and I try to only buy things that really bring me joy or that I really think I need in my life. I think it's really bad if you come with 2 outfits and an empty suitcase, unless you can really afford this, and just have to buy your outfits there. I think we also all, no matter how secure we are with our style, we all get kind of inspired in different places. And then especially a place like Japan, people are dressed, I don't even understand, people are dressed so well. It's hard not to be completely jaded and be like, oh my God, I want to change my entire wardrobe and just wear please, or just wear Yoji, or just wear this. So I know myself, and I know every time I go there, I'm like, oh my God, these people are so chic. I have to change my entire life. So I try to come with a full suitcase that I don't overspend. What I have next to me, actually I bought a mix of, I only bought one new thing, which is a Comme des Garçons girl blazer. I think, well, in general, I think Dover street markets are the best stores in the world in terms of curation, in terms of how the staff, like how they help you, what they know in terms of the staff's personal style. I know Dover street market, for a lot of people, I see this joke like online that it's like very intimidated going in there. I have never had that experience, but maybe that's my own privilege, or how maybe, I don't know. I think they are the best curated stores in the world. And then the Dover street market in Ginza is so amazing. You can spend hours there, and that we did. And because, Comme des Garçons in general is a lot cheaper in Japan, so something that I feel like I should list prices. So I bought a very beautiful Comme des Garçons girl little blazer jacket with, it's so beautiful. I don't know if I can insert pictures. Anyways, it was so much cheaper than it would have been. I think it's like double on Essence. So it's the only new thing that I bought, but I really felt like it's something that I wanted in my life, something that I can wear with all of my other things. That's a different shopping rule I have. I really think if you love an item, but you know in the back of your mind you're gonna need a whole new wardrobe for that item, then it's not for you. It's not feasible. And this was something like a very short cropped jacket that I know is going with all of my skirts, all of my suit trousers. So I'm really happy with that. I bought a second Comme des Garçons jacket, kind of like a satin, super oversized but very dressy version of the other jacket. It's Comme des Garçons, not Comme des Garçons girl, that I bought in a very tucked away, I can't remember the name, but I can send it in my broadcast again, tucked away little vintage store. This was the cutest story ever. So I got, which to me is so insane to say, but I got approached so many times on the street of Tokyo by my audience. And one time I was walking through Shibuya station and some girl came screaming at me like, Brenda, I don't have much time, but you have to go to the store. And I was meeting my boyfriend in Nakameguro. And that store happened to be like 10 minutes from the station. Wait, was it Omotesando or Nakameguro? I'm getting confused. Anyways, that store happened to be like a 10-minute walk from the station. So I took a screenshot and went straight to that store. And what I think it's a lot of the secondhand stores in Tokyo, at least from my experience, they're kind of like hidden away. Like it's in some random apartment building. You have to find the doorbell. You have to find the entrance. And this was like a little bit of a mission. And the lady in there, it was like shoes off. It was like a little apartment basically. stacked to the top with Comme des Garçons and Junior, and it was amazing. And I really, the feeling when you really want to buy something in a store, like it's really your mission, like I want to support this place, but then I couldn't really find anything. And I was trying on like super fabulous Junior tops and dresses, but nothing that was really that I would have worn in the end. Like I tried them on and they looked so beautiful, or I thought they looked so beautiful on me. And in the end, I'm not the person in the crazy Junior dress on the street of Berlin. So I was like, let's keep it realistic. I put everything back. And then in the last corner, I saw this beautiful Comme des Garçons jacket, and then it was such a good price. And this is a little out there for me. It has like very flat sleeves. Yeah, a little out there for me, like a round collar, super cute. But I think it's something that I want to wear. Yeah, that was that. I bought 2 chrome hearts rings. I have a huge chrome hearts obsession. I think everyone knows this about me that knows me. How do I explain this? I love brands that are so... Here's my burp again. I think this is like such a tradition now that I'm burping. I think it's just because I'm talking like uninterrupted and the air gets stuck somewhere. I'm really sorry about my burping. I am a huge fan of brands that are in total control of their image and of their stock. Of their stock means they don't really have wholesale. So Chrome Hearts just is selling through its own stores or, like licensed vendors in Japan. I think it's licensed. Doesn't really have an online store. Like you have to go through their store to get the items. I don't know. I love that. So it's obviously also such a huge resale culture, which I don't even know if the Stark family is a fan of that. But I think they're so in control of their image, and I love that. This is a very strange reason to love a brand, but I'm obsessed with image and brand. And I think Chrome Hearts is one of these brands that are, I don't know, there's only a select few brands that have this like full control over their audience, over their stock, over who's saying what about them. They get very little interviews. I don't know. I love the whole story. I love the story of Richard Stark. And yeah, there's a huge community in Japan. Obviously, Chrome Hearts, it's not for everyone. I totally understand that. I think there's also sometimes like almost a little tacky element. Oh, my dog just came in. I just picked up my dog Summer yesterday. Hi, Shatsy. There's a little like tacky element to it. And as the same as Rick, for example, the brand goes in and out of style, in and out of mainstream pop culture. And it never affects their core community, which I love. Like people can think it's the coolest or uncoolest brand at any given year or moment. And their core community never cares. And I don't know, I think that's something so sexy about this. But yeah, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but I do wear a lot of rings. I'm wearing 2 right now. On my right hand, I'm wearing a Bulgari B0 from the B01 collection ring. B01 is inspired by the Colosseum in Rome. And it was a gift from the brand, and I'm obsessed with the ring. And on my left hand, I'm wearing a Chrome Hearts ring from, oh my God, I've had this for a while. I also bought this secondhand. A Chrome Hearts ring from 2013. Wow. Over a decade old. Anyways, I bought 2 Chrome Hearts rings. Yeah, I'm not going to insert images because I don't know how to do that. One is from 2017, and the other one is from the year 2000. How sick. And they look like new. I do think I'm going to get them clean. But yeah, this is the Karl Lagerfeld occasion of Brenda Hashtag. I don't know if you've ever seen the films. I'm a huge Karl Lagerfeld fan, if you didn't know. If you ever seen the documentaries about him, and I feel like I mentioned this in another episode, but he's about to leave his house and just like dunks his fingers into 2 buckets and they're filled with Chrome Hearts rings. And that's my idol right there. Yeah, I love the tackiness of it all. And maybe this is like a rude thing to say about Chrome Hearts, but I don't know. I have been a fan for years and I could never afford the rings, so I've only ever bought them secondhand. And yeah, I bought 2 Chrome Hearts rings. Then I also bought a card holder. So there's a huge Chanel resale market. Resale? Honestly, I should know that. Oh, I don't. Huge, I'm just going to switch in between the 2 terms. Huge resale market of Chanel in Japan. I have to say, I did have hopes of like finding a bag. I collect Karl Lagerfeld Chanel, obviously, and I don't know, at some point I should do a tour. Maybe over 10 Chanel bags, that's for sure. And I have to say, I did not think the prices were good. So there were stores that were fully dedicated to Chanel. So you go in and everything is secondhand Chanel. It's kind of amazing, and they're all in pristine condition. But obviously, when it comes to thrifting or buying secondhand, the more curated a store is, and when it's curated just for one brand, obviously the more expensive it is. So I saw bags there that were like triple the price that I would pay. And I saw a lot of bags. For example, I have the patchwork tweed bags from 2011 in black and in white. I think I paid $1,700 for one and $2,200 for the other. And in those stores, they were sold for like $8K and $6K, like, ridiculous. So I think Chanel shopping, especially bag shopping in Japan, for me, was more for looking, and I can find better prices in my own market. I think that also has to do with, the growing secondhand market. Everyone is more circular. The women, the Chanel ladies have found out about reselling and getting rid of their things to buy new things. So I think I myself could find a lot better on Vestia and eBay or through private sellers. So I didn't buy a lot, but I did buy a Chanel Cambon. Cambon is just the street that the Chanel store is on in Paris. Little card holder. I have matching shoes with like a shiny CC, and I thought it was super cute. I think I paid like €200, which is not that cheap, but it's like in really good condition. And I don't know, I just really wanted something. And then I also, I really have to find out what collection this is from. I bought a clear, plasticky kind of vinyl. Is this a bracelet? What's a bangle? Dangle? Oh, I don't know the word. Anyways, a clear Chanel bracelet that I thought was super cute. Also kind of the situation, like, I don't know, I just really wanted to support that store, and the lady was so lovely. And I think it's like early 2000s, but yeah, I have to find the Vogue runway image, and I thought it was so cute. But yeah, if you have oh my God, I have to go to Japan to buy vintage bags. I don't know. I don't think I'm even like the expert there, but the choice is amazing, but I don't think the prices are really it. Maybe in some random store and you can find a bag that's like not in the best condition and you can like fix it up. But I don't think you're really, so if this like episode is giving you major FOMO, don't. You can find the things in your market as well. There was a huge market for Louis Vuitton as well. I think Louis Vuitton as a luxury brand has the most iconic bag collaborations, I have to say, especially Marc Jacobs' era when he was the creative director. I brought I think this is behind me, Yayoi Kusama mini Alma baby Louis Vuitton bag to Japan, which I think she really deserved to go there. But anyways, I have myself, I don't know, I can't see it. Somewhere behind me is like a Steven Sprouse collaboration. It's 2001, right? Or 2002. And a lot of the things that I own myself that I got for a pretty good price, I saw them in the Tokyo stores in like amazing condition, but still like the prices were, in my opinion, kind of crazy. Also, a lot of John Galliano Dior, which I also collect. And, the J'adore Dior tops. I have both of my Columbus bags from 2002. They were all there in the stores, but super expensive. So I think it's definitely worth it to go for the Japanese brands. Pleats Please was super cheap in comparison to, the Western market where I am in Europe. Comme des Garçons was super cheap. Second-hand Comme des Garçons was amazing everywhere. But I would say the European luxury houses, unless you have a giant budget and you don't want to spend time looking for these, like a Steven Sprouse Louis Vuitton collaboration, then maybe it's worth it. But then I still think you can find a professional reseller and have them source for you and curate, So I think, I don't know. I also got an amazing Issey Miyake. I get 2 bracelets, actually. It's very like on theme, like 2 blazers, 2 bracelets, 2 rings, 1 card holder. Issey Miyake bracelet that I thought was super beautiful. And then actually my highlight was Jimbocho, the area. People have told me about it before, like you have to go to Jimbocho. I don't know if I'm like butchering how you're pronouncing the name. It's this area kind of north, I would say. I don't know why I pronounce north like this. And it's filled with bookstores. And yeah, people were not exaggerating. It's an area just for bookstores. And you just go to Jimbocho Station and just walk anywhere and you'll find them. And I collect old fashion lookbooks, especially Chanel. And I bought, oh God, I think 4 or 5. Here's one from 2011. One Métier d'Art show 2019. There obviously Karl Lagerfeld was already RIP. They're all, I'm so excited to unwrap all of these. Anyways, and they were such, like, I got them for such good prices. So I was really happy with that. I highly recommend Jimbocho. Then I got a lot of Comme des Garçons, I got a little notebook. I got lookbooks, obviously. Not obviously. I think, as many of you know, Comme des Garçons had a magazine, like an acne paper. Obviously, Comme des Garçons came first, which they stopped. But I have all of the black and white covers. But I saw those in stores there. I just, I had them already. I got a purple diary with pictures of old parties, Chloe Sevigny. I got a Dries Van Noten lookbook from 2012. R.I.P. to Dries. I mean, he didn't die. He left his brand. Off to new adventures or retirement. I don't know. Yves Saint Laurent, Autumn Winter 2009 lookbook of accessories. So exciting. Then actually my highlight is a Dior Homme lookbook from summer 2006. I'm a huge Edie fan. I don't know if this is a problematic thing to say, but he really shaped my fashion brain and how I got into fashion and what I thought was fabulous back in the day. I mean, I still think he does fabulous work, but I think his how he shifted culture and fashion is like undeniable. So this was really exciting to me because that's one thing that was so much cheaper, because 80 fans will pay anything. So the prices are often very crazy. So that I'm very excited for. Okay, another Chanel lookbook, A Summer in the South. I don't know what year this is from. But yeah, I like to keep all of these things. And then one thing I love to buy is exhibition catalogs. I don't know either of these artists. Hisayuki Mogami. Is this a gallery name or the artist name? I should know this. Tokyo Gallery 1981. And then Mutsuko Kawara. Well, anyways, I'm just butchering these names. But I love to buy things that used to be given out for free at the galleries. Also 1981. Yeah, I love exhibition catalogs. These are two. My favorite kind of art is sculpture. I'm a huge Noguchi fan. I'm a huge R.I.P. Richard Serra fan. So I love sculpture over paintings. So anything that I can get my hands on. That was actually really amazing. My favorite bookstore was not in Jimbocho. It's called Totoro. I don't know. I made a whole post about it on Instagram, and I think I spent about an hour or 2 hours in there. I think the people that thought I was really freaky because I was buying just lookbooks, and they were like, what's her deal? But yeah, that was my favorite thing ever. So in total, I didn't actually buy that much. Also, yeah, I've done my fair share of shopping my entire life. So I don't know. It was really nice to go just to look. And I have to say, yeah, I think I said this in the last episode, I wasn't so inspired by Paris Fashion Week or fashion weeks in general. And I've kind of gone to the same places in the last year just because I'm, meeting someone in New York, or I'm going to work in Paris, and going somewhere completely different where I haven't been in years was so refreshing. And yeah, what I love the most about style in Tokyo is the individualism of it all. Like, you can really see who's into what, and people I think the coolest thing with fashion is when you can see that someone put an effort in themselves, because I really think, obviously fashion is a huge luxury, right? Some people do not have the time or the means to really put effort in. They can put effort in like hygiene or anything, but sometimes fashion, maybe you work a super labor-intensive, physically intensive job. Of course, you can't wear the nicest clothes, but what I find so inspiring is seeing all of these people that really put effort in themselves and look put together and you can tell it's not so much for other people, but it's like a self-respect thing, I put myself together in the morning, dress for the job you want, like this kind of attitude. And I find that really inspiring. And sometimes I get home to Berlin, especially after Fashion Month, and I'm like, I cannot wait to be in my sweatpants and my pajama. And I do that for 3 days and I really get depressed because I really feel like, two things. Half of my character is missing, there's no storytelling, there's no nothing. It's just like me and my leggings. Like I am right now, I'm wearing like please pants and a dirty t-shirt with toothpaste on it and a Rick Owens Dark Shadow sweater. So I don't really feel like fully myself. So I believe in comfort sometimes over looks, but yeah, after a few days, I'm just like, I get so depressed. And if every time I'm like, why am I feeling so down? And then I'm like, oh, it's because I haven't like put on an outfit. And that was so fun to do in Tokyo, to put on my cute outfits and to feel good about myself. And also there's very much the culture where you don't get stared at, everyone is kind of like focusing on themselves, not in an egotistical way, but no one's making another person feel uncomfortable. Like I never got stares. And I think that was really nice. Obviously, I think when you live there, that can be very isolating. But yeah, for me, it was, especially as a woman, such a nice feeling to be in my like little skirt and no one actually was looking at me. Maybe this is a very singular experience. So don't take that, take that with a grain of salt. But it was really nice to put on my outfits and I came back very inspired. And now I do this every year, but I am about to do my big spring cleaning. I obviously support circular fashion, so I'm going to sell a lot of things. The great thing about once you've done your investment purchases is that everything, like nothing loses its value. So I can resell everything that I own, either for profit or for the same amount of money that I got it from. So I have this kind of constant flow of like, I can buy new things because I can sell things again. So I'm about to do that. I have a huge rack here and I have this Instagram account called #Era. Don't tell anyone else. That's where sometimes I'm selling my clothes. And I feel like this is what I will be tackling this month. It's kind of fun actually. I hold like mini auditions, like I try on the thing that I haven't worn in a while. And then I'm either like, okay, I'm trying it with 3 outfits. If I'm not feeling it or if it doesn't fit me anymore, it gets thrown in the pile of selling, because I really believe in not holding things in your closet like hostage that you don't wear anymore more. I think maybe this is like very cringe to me, but I think of my clothes like they have like a soul, and it makes me so sad if something's just like hanging there and it could have another life somewhere else. So yeah, I'm gonna go through all of my things and decide what I'm selling, what's part of my new vibe. Obviously, I love like uniform, so I've had a pretty stable style progression over the years where I look at outfits from 2 years ago and I'm like, oh, I'd still wear those. So I think that's a good sign. But I think there's a lot of things here. Obviously, I have a massive closet, but a lot of things here that are collecting a bit of dust. And I think that's unfair. And I think that's bad energy to have around. So I will sort through them. Yeah, I say that now, but obviously it's not fun. And I'm also like, I'm a hoarder. So I love to keep things. And it's hard to give things up because you're like, what if I have this wedding with this theme where I could wear exactly that, which is such bullshit. But yeah, I will go through my clothes this week and next. Please hold me accountable and actually ask if I've done what I promised myself I'll do. But yeah, I didn't buy so much in Tokyo except for a lot of lookbooks, and I'm very happy. Let's find out what the missing of the Elsa Peretti choker meant in the end, if it was like cursed or if I was meant to be humbled or if I'm not meant to wear Tiffany, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I think that's that. I hope this wasn't so all over the place. I don't know. Shopping is a big topic for me, and I can do a whole episode on like all the kind of rules that I live by to stop myself from overspending. I am aware of the influence that I have, and I don't want to be talking about clothes and shopping all the time. I think, of course, it's nice to share my passions, but I don't want you to like click off of this episode and think, oh my God, I have to now go on eBay and buy Comme des Garçons. I think it's always best to see and assess what you already have in your closet, what fits your current lifestyle, what your dream lifestyle is, how achievable your dream lifestyle is, and what are the clothes for the dream lifestyle. I think, we can always kind of be in motion with that. Besides the one blazer, I'm happy about everything secondhand. I think all the great products are already out there, and secondhand is so accessible now through online. So yeah, I hope you keep that in mind and don't overspend on anything. First, assess and sell things so that you can give yourself, girl math, a little budget to buy things from things that you sold. But I hope this makes sense. Anyways, obviously I did more than shopping in Tokyo. I can talk about all of the other things that I've done. A big highlight for me was seeing new Gucci piece in real life. I think that's always so fascinating. I'm a huge fan of his. We saw, lots of amazing design and architecture. Got a tour of the Prada Aoyama store, which is amazing. Such an iconic piece of architectural retail that really changed the game. I think one of the most beautiful stores in the world. Same as the MS Ginza location. I'm sure you've seen that on my Instagram, but it was so cool to see in real life. Yeah, and in general, I'm so glad that I did this trip, and I feel really inspired now. And yeah, now I have 3 weeks at home to get my life in order. It was Easter just now. It's Easter Monday. I think today I am teasing, or I'm uploading a little trailer about this podcast, and I'm a little bit nervous because nothing's set in stone. Like I said, nothing's planned out, but I'm a little nervous, which I think is a good thing. When you're nervous, that means you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and you should always be in motion in life, whether things are good or bad. And things are really good for me right now, and I think that's exactly the moment where I should venture out and do new things and try new things. And I think out of comfort zone experiences are the best in life. When you never feel scared or nervous, I think that tells you you're too much in your own comfort zone. Anyways, so that's happening. And thank you for listening to Brand Awareness episode 4, right? It's episode 4. I'm not quite sure. I appreciate any feedback, and I love you, and I hope you're doing well. And let me know if you see anyone wearing an Elsa Peretti Tiffany bean choker, because maybe we should warn them that it's cursed. Okay, love you. Bye. Thank you for listening.